Hello everyone. Let us discuss about science and technological literacy, which is also called as STL, as a part of our unit 4.3. Literacy is the ability to read and write, but it is also the ability to access, analyze, and evaluate. The capability to function with understanding and confidence at appropriate levels in ways that brings empowerment in the world of science and technological ideas. So this is the way how literacy is looked at. We will understand in detail what exactly is science and technological literacy as we go ahead or move ahead with the slides. Now let us understand the 6 dimensions of science and technological literacy before understanding what exactly it means. First one is familiarity to the natural world, recognizing both its diversity and unity. So first dimension of scientific, that is science and technological literacy, involves familiarity to the natural world. Second one is understanding key concepts and principles of science. Third one is being aware of some of the important ways in which science, mathematics, and technology depend upon one another. So it is also that awareness an individual can have about the interdependence of these 3 dimensions. Knowing that science, mathematics, and technology are human enterprises, and knowing that implies about their strengths and limitations. So awareness about these 3 areas or 3 fields can contribute a lot to the strengths and limitations one can be aware of. Having capacity for scientific ways of thinking is the 5th dimension of scientific and technological literacy. And 6th one is using scientific knowledge and ways of thinking for individual and social purposes. So it is also about making use of the knowledge which we call scientific and the ways of thinking which definitely has to be scientific in order to improve the individual and societal life. Now let us try and understand what exactly is STL, that is Science and Technological Literacy. Now when we talk about scientific component which is a part of this term, it is to understand our world, we need to understand science concepts, the manner of approaching problems. So now when we talk about manner of approaching problems, we can think of a scientific method. Now what exactly is scientific method consist of? It consists of a problem, definitely about which you have to study or work upon, for which one has to give a hypothesis. And testing will be done based on that hypothesis, and it will be tested whether that hypothesis which an individual has put forward is true or wrong. And then conclusion will be derived with the process. Now, let us have a look at the technological aspect associated with the term. It is nothing but the modification of natural world to fulfill human needs. So technology has something to do with modification of the natural world, of which gadgets are products of technology. So there are various gadgets that have helped us improve our life, improve the way we work. And gadgets are nothing but, or technology is nothing but modification of what we used to live like. And technology synthesized ideas about scientific principles. So from where has the technology come? Technology is nothing but it is a byproduct of utilization or byproduct of synthesis or synthesized ideas of scientific principles. And science has concretized scientific discoveries, processes, which results in products and are based on scientific and technological know-how. So for a person to be good in technology should have a good sense of the scientific concepts, of the principles, and all the theories associated with the subject. Now, the last point or the last component is literacy. Now, we can define literacy in various ways. We can call them as aims. The first one being functional aim. So the problem solving ability, decision making skills, conceptual understanding is useless if underutilized. So literacy, if we look at literacy from functional aim, Whatever ability that you may possess, may it be a problem solving ability, may it be a decision making skill. If you're a good decision maker, you can make correct decisions, or if you have a good conceptual understanding. But if you do not make use of it, then it turns out to be an useless knowledge, or we can call it literacy. The second one is utilization aim. Now, if we look at literacy from utilization aim, it says that it must contribute to the development of social values, personal interest, personal responsibility, and career development. So now when we look at literacy and look at it in terms of utilization aim, it makes sense that if a person's literacy is not of use to the people around him or her, if it is not of use to himself or herself, if it is not useful for his or her career development or professional growth, it tends to be somewhat useless because it is not being used. And the third aim is future's aim, preparing for tomorrow's world and to cope up with future challenges. So literacy should also have that particular aim or that particular dimension, wherein it should be given which will enable a person to grow in terms of the requirements which he or she might need in the future. In a way, preparing an individual for the future. So that's how we can look at the concept of scientific technological literacy. Now, if we look at the levels of scientific and technological literacy, there are 4 levels. The first one is nominal. So a person at nominal level of scientific and technological literacy can recognize scientific terms, but doesn't have a clear understanding of their meaning. So I know certain terms like what is gravitational force, I know what is Ohm's law, I know what is resistance, I am aware of them, I can also recognize them, but I do not have a proper or deep understanding of their meaning. Functional level, it can use scientific and technological vocabulary, but usually this is only out of context, as is the case. Example, in a school test exam. For example, I am aware of the scientific and technological vocabulary, but I'm only using it for a reason. For example, if I have to write a school test, if I have to appear for an exam, I make use of that technological and scientific literacy that is functional for a reason. Third one is conceptual and structural. It demonstrates understanding and relationship between concepts and can use processes with meaning. So at the third level, that is conceptual and structural level, one knows or one understands the concepts and also the relationship between them and can use the processes which are involved in the concept with meaning. So there is a bit of understanding about it. And the fourth level is multidimensional. Here, not only one has understanding, but has developed perspective of science and technology that includes the nature of science, the role of science and technology in personal and societal life. So a person at multidimensional level does not only understand, but he or she has a perspective towards it and knows how to integrate technology and make use of it in personal and societal life. Now the question is, why are we talking about scientific or that science and technological literacy? The reason being technology is pervasive. Homes, society, workplace, and specific occupations use technology. If we see around us, technology is everywhere. It has invaded our personal life, professional life, our social life. Technology is everywhere. Second one is technological choices are vital to our life. It affects health, ecology, types of jobs, eco-well-being, recreation, means of self-expression. So it has become an integral part of our life. And technological advances forces us to make choices, may it be good or bad, useful or redundant, keeping or discarding, incinerating or burying, adopting, modifying or rejecting. And knowledge about technology is vital to make informed choices, to take charge of your own thinking, and to understand our world. Technology has been playing a very important role. Now, we will discuss about the objectives of STL in the next lecture. So if you have any questions about the topic STL, about its meaning, about why we have to use STL, about the levels of it, please feel free to type it in the chat box. Thank you.